I had this set up a couple of minutes ago, and I thought it was great. It was a big lead-in to Trevor Lawrence. This was the touchdown pass against the Ravens.
Fires toward the right corner of the end zone. That ball is caught! Caught for the touchdown! In the right corner of the end zone! How good is that? Touchdown, Jacksonville, Marvin Jones Jr.
It's bringing Trevor Lawrence. Have you heard that call yet?
This is my first time. I'm hearing it with all the guys in here, so it's pretty sweet.
Take me into the huddle when you start that drive. Anything different said?
Yeah, I mean, just honestly, the two drives before that, we were down, 19-10 on the second to last drive, and just told the guys, hey, we've been here before. We've been in this situation. A few weeks ago against the Raiders, we were down 17-0 early in the game and had to come back and win that game. So just told them we'd been there before. Nobody panicked and put together. I mean, we had to overcome a lot on that second to last drive to get it within a score, and then get the turnover, kick a field goal. We're up by 1, and then they go down and score, leave us like 2 minutes, and we got to go do it again. And there was just no panic. All the guys was like, it's time to show what we can do.
Do you have 2 plays called when you go to the line of scrimmage?
Not typically in 2 minute. You're usually going fast and you're rolling, especially if the ball's in bounds. But other than that, yeah, a lot of the time, especially third down, specialty passes where you need a certain look. We'll have a kill if they're not showing us what we need. So we had a lot of those this past game. I mean, the Ravens got a good defense, so they did a good job. It was tough to run the ball against those guys.
That's a Philly play that you guys ran?
Which one?
The Philly Folly? Is that, did you guys, did Doug, what's the name of that play? I thought that there was something that Doug brought with
You talking about the touchdown or
the 2-point conversion?
Oh, the 2-point. No, it's not. Well, yeah, they ran it in Philly. Yeah, but it's, I don't want to give the name of it, but they ran it in Philly, and it's a compliment off another play that, we actually haven't ran this season. So it was funny that it ended up working to win the game for us.
It's not called the Philly Folly, though. You don't want to give away the name. Okay.
It's not that, though. No, it's not that.
Okay. How much of a role did you play in Let's Go for Two?
Honestly, I was sitting over there and they were talking. I had, the press I had press in my headset talking about the different situations. If we didn't get the touchdown, if they reversed it, what are our next couple plays, shots at the end zone? So I was thinking about that. I didn't know for sure if it was a touchdown or not at the time. So I was thinking about that situation. And then, Doug was like, hey, it's a touchdown. And I looked at him, I was like, what are you thinking? He's like, I think we're going to go for 2 and win the game. And that's our right guard, Brandon Sheriff, before that was like, let's go for 2. Like he's screaming at coach, and coach was like, hold on a second. And then he was like, all right, let's go. Let's do it. So that's what's cool, is just the trust, and everyone's on the same page. Like, we're not going into overtime. We're going to go win it right now. And it's cool to see everybody just trust each other like that.
The difference in celebrating a win when you were at Clemson and a difference now in Jacksonville is what?
I mean, I think I've just, over the past 2 years, winning is always great, and that the fun is in the winning is what Coach Sweeney used to say. And when I was at Clemson, but I don't know if I appreciate it as much as I do now, just because we won so much, and you don't have to play as well, as perfect, as in sync as you do in the NFL to win. So I think now, I've come to appreciate it so much more, and just understanding what it takes. And you look at that game, we win by 1 point, and there's so many little plays that guys had to make to win that game for us. And this is a cool feeling especially when you drive down the field and have the go-ahead touchdown or go-ahead 2-point conversion to win it with like 14 seconds left. That was a first for me in my career, and for this team this season. So that was special.
But also, you go from a program where you're always winning, and then, like, you never want to get used to losing. It's great to get used to winning, but how does that work, though? When you win all the time, then all of a sudden it's like, I'm not used to reacting this way or having these thoughts about explaining why we lost a game.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. It was definitely an eye-opener for me, the past year and a half of just, like you said, I've lost 2 games when I was at Clemson in college, so in 3 years. And then on the flip side of that, the last year and a half having to deal with those losses a lot of close losses, a lot of games where I didn't play well. You got to stand up there and You got to just kind of own everything, and that's my job at the end of the day. Is whatever happens, I could play great. If we lose, it doesn't really matter. Didn't do enough to win, so that's just the nature of the beast. And like you said though, you never want to get used to that. You never want to get used to losing. I don't think we ever did here. We had we've had a rough month in October. Really, we lost 5 straight. Outside of that, and we've been playing pretty good ball. But obviously that was big. As we lost a bunch of those games in a row. But the guys here never got used to that. Never eased up. Never started to point the finger. I think that's what happens a lot when you have a team that you lose a bunch of games in a row. It's easy for guys to start kind of looking around to find someone to bail them out. And at the end of the day, it's us. We gotta fix it ourselves.
How are you different than a year ago?
Me or
You.
as a team?
You.
I just, I think with my experience, I look at things a little bit differently. I can see the big picture. Even just where we're at in the season, we're 4-7, obviously not a great record, and we've put ourselves in this position, but really there's still everything out in front of us. We still control our own destiny. If we go win all these games, we're making the playoffs, and and you can't do that until you win the first one, and that was yesterday. And that's how we approached these last 7 games after the bye. Was this is a new season, 7-game season, and let's see where we stack up at the end. But I just feel like the confidence that I'm playing with, that our offense is playing with right now, is the best it's been all season. I really feel like we're clicking. So I feel like that's a big difference in right now and where we were a year ago, for sure.
He's Trevor Lawrence. He threw for 321 yesterday, 3 TDs in the win against the Ravens. Why is there still this fascination of Urban Meyer when he was your coach, that I'm going to guess when you sit down to do these interviews, you're still answering for Urban Meyer?
I mean, it was just I think a unique situation that everyone kind of had eyes on and everybody was talking about, especially with how some of the drama unfolded at the end of the season. And then, even just being here in the building, it was a different situation. And I think everyone was really interested in that, and obviously how it affected our team. And it's starting to die down a little bit, but yeah, I still get the questions. People will ask me, but not as much as I used to. But definitely, it's still going around.
At least I didn't lead the interview with the question.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Talking about the game we won. No,
yeah,
that's great.
Yeah. Does Doug Peterson remind you that he was a quarterback in the NFL?
He doesn't have to. Just the way he carries himself, the way he.
But he doesn't want to go out and throw the football, and he likes.
Not really. I
hopefully
he doesn't watch this, but I don't think he moves the way he used to. So
it's not like he moved like he was Lamar Jackson when he played.
That's true. That's true. No, he's but just the way he communicates.
What his longest run from scrimmage was?
No, you do you have the stat? What is it?
I think I have 19 yards. 19, and that's long for him, considering. Yeah. I'm old enough to have watched him play, Trevor. I'm just saying.
I need to go back and watch his highlights. So
no, there aren't any highlights. There's not any highlights. There's no. He's holding a clipboard and wearing a visor. That's his highlight. Give me that moment where you watched the opposing quarterback almost as if you were a fan. Have you had that moment in the NFL where you should be thinking about your offense, but you kind of look out and you go, wow?
Not necessarily. There's a lot of guys that I respect the way they play. I think you look at the guys that are obviously, you have Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, are guys that have played for a long time, and I haven't played either one of those guys, but the guys that have played are younger, only a few years older than me. Patrick, Josh Allen, Lamar, there's probably more that I'm leaving out, but those are guys that are. So I didn't grow up watching them necessarily, but I have a lot of respect for them because ever since I've been in whatever it is, senior in high school through college, I've watched them. So I don't necessarily watch as like a fan, but it's one of those are the games where as an offense, the challenge that you're going to have, because no matter how good your defense is, you're not going to be able to stop those guys every series. They're going to make plays. They're going to score. And I mean, even Lamar, some of the scrambles he had yesterday, you're sitting there like, just banging your head against the wall. It's like, what do you even do against that? Guys just running around everybody. It's like we contain him and somehow he gets out of it. So those guys are going to make plays, and that's the that's just how this game is, and it's fun watching those guys, but at the same time, it's not fun because you're the team that's playing them. But
Mahomes makes it look easy, Trevor. It's not easy.
No, he's a special player. He's got a great feel for. Obviously, he's a really smart player. I think is one thing that not a lot of people talk about, but some of the stuff he does. But then also his feel for the pocket and just creating space. It seems like he's sitting back there all day because he just knows how to maneuver in the pocket. He's awesome. They got something good going in Kansas City for sure.
Wait a minute. Is that your analysis of the Kansas City Chiefs? They got something special there? Come on.
It's a hot take, right?
Yeah. Wow. That's going to make some headlines there. Were you a Falcons fan growing up?
Not really. I didn't really watch much NFL football. I would say if I was a fan of a team, it would have been the Falcons. But I was I grew up watching college football. That was that was what we were all about. So that's what I spent most of my time doing. Peyton Manning was my favorite player, so I would watch some of the Broncos games and all that, but not as much NFL.
What was it like meeting Peyton the first time?
It was cool. Yeah, that's a guy I've looked up to. My family is huge Tennessee fans. I was born in Knoxville, so we've liked Peyton Manning, and I've been a fan since I was a baby, since I could even walk. So getting to meet him, and now we're actually in the same marketing agency, so we've crossed paths multiple times. Even last season, I'd talk to him, just get some advice from him. Obviously, he had a similar rookie season, just ups and downs, some struggles. So I talked to him, and he had some great insight, and it's cool to be able to build that relationship now. And as a kid, I would never thought that would happen.
Wait, how did the Vols not sign you?
Well, it was an interesting time in Tennessee football. I think at that point they had a couple different head coaches. It was Butch Jones was the one that recruited me.
Yeah.
So I ended up they were up there, but I ended up not deciding to do that. They hadn't turned the corner yet.
You should be a senator. You know that you've got some. Why
do you say that?
Politically correct, like you know what to say. You're not going to be overly critical. You just you say nice things.
Hey, it's trying to throw anybody under the bus over here.
No, but that doesn't make for good talk radio. Just saying.
I know that's what I said to our media people here. I'm like, you guys probably hate when I come up here. I'm like a broken record. You guys don't get anything to write any articles about. I'm never in the headlines.
It's okay. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too.
Yeah. Hey, congrats on the win yesterday. Thanks for joining us as always. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Dan.
Thank
you. Enjoyed it, man. Thank you.
Trevor Lawrence, Jags quarterback, and threw for 321, 3 touchdowns in the win against the Ravens.